The Great Lakes have a natural organizing force for the people of the region.
The vastness of them is really hard to convey.
The Great Lakes region holds 1/5 of Earth's surface freshwater.
They're very, very important to our economy. We've got the world's largest source of clean, fresh water.
Kids grow up and they have that memory. They associate it with their time and their summers with their family on the shores of Lake Michigan or Lake Huron. And fishing is an integral part of that.
For most of history, people simply assumed that the Great Lakes were so vast and packed with fish that there would always be plenty to catch.
It was just too easy to throw a net in the water and pull money out.
But by the 1950s, everything had changed. The fish most important to people were nearly gone.
Narrated by Michigan native and Oscar-winning actor J.K. Simmons, the new documentary The Fish Thief is directed by Lindsay Haskin, explores the mystery behind how and why prized fish nearly disappeared from the largest freshwater ecosystem on Earth, the Great Lakes.
The guilty party is the sea lamprey, an invasive species that was significantly beaten back by scientists, but now it's feared they may surge because of recent layoffs made by the White House. Chicago Sun-Times writer Robert Herguth has been following the story tackled in this film. Good morning, Bob. Thank you for joining us. They call these things the vampire fish.
That's right.
They look like some mythical sea creature. Where did these things come from? They can't be native to Lake Michigan, are they?
These are not. They are native to the Atlantic Ocean, and they're an invasive species that arrived, I think, in the 1800s, but really sort of flourishing with the construction of canals and whatnot, and wended their way through various waterways into all the Great Lakes by the mid-1900s.
We're showing pictures here, but what they do, they have these like almost little suckers at the front of their bodies, and what do they do to the fish? They attach and...
Yeah, they latch on like a suction cup, and then they literally suck the life out of the fish, the blood and other juices, and they kill the fish or wound them to the extent that they're not healthy.
A major economic impact, and I'm sure political forces at play here. You have, I'm sure, Canada involved, and we're not on the best terms with them right now. What is the biggest challenge to solving this problem? Why do we think that they are going to surge again?
Well, that's not for sure, of course. I mean, what this film basically shows is that the sea lamprey had surged in the mid-1900s. They didn't know, first of all, initially what was going on, what was killing the fish. And when they discovered it, well, how to beat back the lamprey. And they developed this chemical back 50, 60 years ago that actually treated to tributaries where the lamprey spawn and breed. And it actually has pretty successfully beaten them back, but it has to be applied every year. Or else, these things could surge again. And with some of the budget cuts, or not budget cuts, but job layoffs, and there was just uncertainty about whether this program was going to continue to the same level it's been. During COVID, there was sort of a pause, and you saw the lamprey come back. And the fear is that that is going to happen now. I've talked to some people with the Great Lakes Fishery Commission just recently, and they're now hopeful that things will sort of even out here, and that they're going to maybe claw back some of the jobs that were going to be lost. Maybe things are delayed a little bit, but they're hopeful that this will still be tackled.
Let's talk about the economic impact, too, because this is a $5 billion fishing industry that could be impacted. When you're talking about sea lamprey and the effect that it has on fish, what is the economic impact that this could potentially have?
Yeah, when they were first really taking over these lakes, they were devouring lake trout, among other big fish, which is a native species, and one that's was fished and is fished and eaten at restaurants and by families and whatnot. And without if they devour all the lake trout, then those are gone. So I mean, there still is a relatively vibrant fishing industry in the Great Lakes, and that would be gone if the lamprey had their way.
Do you have a sense of what the goal is of the filmmaker, what they want the public to do? What is the call to action here?
Yeah, I mean, I think they wanted to chronicle this kind of success story. I mean, right now we're, the Great Lakes are having, and other freshwater, bodies of water in the area, we're having other issues with, mussels and Asian carp and whatnot. All these other invasive species are sort of top of mind. And I followed this stuff, and I really did not know the backstory to this until seeing the movie. And I was just flipping through Prime Video one night, and I saw it. I'm like, what's this? And I watched it, and I'm like, so I wanted to do some research on it and figure it out.
Wow. Is there any, is Canada working? I know, Larry, I talked on this before, but I spoke on this before, but just what does the future look like with Canada, and how do they work together to kind of fight this invasive species?
Yeah, I mean, one of the takeaways I got from this film was that that there is, we have so many divisions between, well, first of all, like you said, our two countries at this point, but also our region and our state, and just, political divisions, cultural divisions. And what this film really showed, that what I took away from it is that this collaboration, cooperation, while it wasn't always easy and it wasn't immediate, eventually that's what kind of came together to solve this. I mean, all these different Midwestern states, Canada, the U.S., all kind of came together specifically to fight this, because in the end, all of us would have been impacted, we're being impacted by this.
Yeah. And you have some kids watching this broadcast. Have they seen the movie as well? You want to say a quick hello? And
Field School in Park Ridge, shout out.
Hey guys.
Yeah. Is this a film that they could watch?
It is. It's there's no bad language that I recall, or any
sex scenes.
No sex scenes. Nope. Nope.
You could bring in the sea lamprey.
Sea lamprey.
Have them look at it.
Exactly.
Well, Bob, thanks so much for coming. And the film is streaming on Apple TV and Amazon Prime. Check out fishthief.com for more ways you can watch the documentary. Bob, thanks again.